Talking about biological weapons as the deadliest form of weapons of mass destruction. So there are three types of weapons of mass destruction. Number one, there is nuclear weapons, and the others being biological and chemical weapons, which is also called germ warfare, and also weather warfare. Weather warfare is a fairly new concept using advanced technology to control the weather to kill and injure and incapacitate enemies. It's fairly new, so I don't really believe anybody has documented proof of it being used. However, nuclear weapons have been used, but they have only been used in World War II by the U.S. in the bombings of Japan. Biological weapons, however, this is what really sold me on biological weapons, and what I think will sell you too is they have been around for centuries. They have had centuries to develop. A link my teacher gave me said they have been used since around 300 BCE and have been used currently all the way till today. So they have had a lot of time to develop and tested which ones are effective and which ones aren't. So I'm going to give you a quick definition here just so you guys can have a kind of a background. A biological weapon is a biological pathogen that comes from a bacteria, a virus, a fungi, or a toxin that are derived from living organisms, and they're used to kill or incapacitate one's enemies. So sometimes they're not just to kill the enemies, they want to just make the enemies not be able to fight anymore. One of the recent ones, this is another link my teacher gave me, is one of the recent ones, uses of biological weapons is on the attacks on the Senate, where envelopes were mailed with lacings of anthrax powder in them, which ended up killing 2 postal workers and sending more to emergency health care. And also not so recently, also recently even more so, is that people have identified this and used it as a scare factor by mailing, sugar or flour or any fine white powder that people might mistake as anthrax, so that it's a scare factor. These people can use it as a scare factor as well, and that's another scary thing about biological weapons. Now, one of the scariest things I found about biological weapons is that these come from the environment. These biological weapons they're not weaponized. So bacteria, viruses, fungi, and toxins, they're not meant to kill. They have evolutionized to kill, and these are traits they've developed through their evolution. However, there is a such thing as, it's called the Chimera virus. This virus is when scientists tinker with the molecular structure of a virus and create some kind of superbug. And this is what's really scary, is that this superbug, they can make it so that it can be ineffective against, they can make it so vaccines aren't effective to it. They can make it so it won't show up until later, so symptoms won't show up until later. They can control the kill factor, how quickly it kills. That's one thing that's really scary about this Chimera virus. And that was another link my teacher posted a while ago, but I didn't really consider relevant until just a while ago, when I decided that biological weapons must be the deadliest out of these. And also, I want to get to the point that biological weapons, they're not like a bomb. They're not like a bomb. It's not like the weather. Of course, they're entirely different, but this is one of the scariest things to me right here, is that a biological weapon can be released without anyone even knowing. So you won't even know. The others may be coughing around you. People will say, oh, it's cough season, it's flu season, But what if a biological weapon has been released, and this is the start where everybody is just getting contaminated before the kill factor comes in, versus a bomb where you drop and it explodes and a whole bunch of people die. Again, a nuclear bomb is different because there will be birth defects after, and the radiation exposing will kill people after that. So it's much more deadly than just any bomb. but the kill factor on a biological weapon is ridiculous. And this is something entirely relevant because you can release a biological weapon anonymously. So a country could attack another country with a biological weapon without that other country even knowing. All it takes is one citizen to come over here with a deadly virus, like one citizen from another country to come over to this country with a deadly virus, unknowingly contaminate the surrounding people, and quickly it spreads and then kills a large amount of the population. That's something scary to me. Recently, well, not so recently, but entirely relevant, is, again, we wouldn't have our country that we have today without the use of biological weapons, because they were used in fighting for America. When the early colonists fought the Native Americans for this land, they used biological weapons, believe it or not. They used blankets coated in smallpox and poisoned the Native Americans. I'm not saying this is a good thing, because I do not support at all how we colonized America. But I'm saying that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for biological weapons, which is another thing to think of. So that's my piece on biological weapons, why I think they are the deadliest out of the 3 different types of weapons. Thank you, and please consider this.